Severe drought in Sacramento Valley slams farmers, salmon, and migratory birds. Standing on the grassy plateau where water is piped onto his property, Davy wished his feet were wet and his irrigation ditch full. 3 years ago, when he sank everything he had into 66 acres of irrigated pasture in Shasta County, Davy thought he'd drought-proofed his cattle operation. He'd been banking on the Sacramento Valley's water supply, which was guaranteed even during the deepest of droughts almost 60 years ago, when irrigation districts up and down the valley cut a deal with the federal government. Buying this land was his insurance against droughts expected to intensify with climate change. But this spring, for the first time ever, no water is flowing through his pipes and canals or those of his neighbors. The district won't be delivering any water to Davy or any of its roughly 800 other customers. Without rain for rangeland grass where his cows forage in the winter, or water to irrigate his pasture, he will probably have to sell at least half the cows he's raised for breeding and sell all his calves a season early. Davy expects to lose money this year, more than $120,000, he guesses, and if it happens again next year, he won't be able to pay his bills. "I would never have bought this land if I had known it wasn't going to get water. Not when you pay the price you pay for it," he said. "If this is a one-time fluke, I'll suck it up and be fine. But I don't have another year in me." Since 1964, the water supply of the western Sacramento Valley has been virtually guaranteed, even during critically dry years, the result of an arcane water rights system and legal agreements underlying operations of the Central Valley Project, the federal government's massive water management system. But as California weathers a third year of drought, conditions have grown so dry and reservoirs gotten so low that the valley's landowners and irrigation districts are being forced to give up more water than ever before. Now, this region, which has relied on the largest portion of federally managed water flowing from Lake Shasta, is wrestling with what to do as its deal with the federal government no longer protects them. All relying on the lake's supplies will make sacrifices. Many are struggling to keep their cattle and crops. Refuges for wildlife also will have to cope with less water from Lake Shasta, endangering migratory birds. And the eggs of endangered salmon that depend on cold water released from Shasta Dam are expected to die by the millions. For decades, water wars have pitted growers and ranchers against nature, north against south. But in this new California, where everyone is suffering, no one is guaranteed anything. In the end, when one person wins, everybody loses, Davy said. And we don't actually solve the problem.